In front of me here, the iBox Twist, which is a portable Bluetooth speaker, and it's designed for use in conjunction with, we'll say, MP3 players, etc. But often we'll say with something like an iPhone for playing back music or podcasts, etc. So what I'm going to do is just give an overview of what comes in the box, and then we'll give a demonstration of how we'd actually set it up and use it, which is actually very, very straightforward. Okay, so at this point here, it comes in this quite snazzy outer box here, okay, and then just inside here there's an inner box, and it has the following. It has just the user manual and warranty information here. It has the speaker itself, which you can see here, and it's very obvious why it's called the Twist, okay. We'll give a further overview of this in a moment. It comes with a 3.5mm audio cable here, audio jack cable. And this is if you're hardwiring it into an MP3 device, for instance, that doesn't have Bluetooth, you can use it directly hardwired there. You see this cable here, it's USB to USB mini, and it's actually used for charging of this device, okay? So I'll just move this out of the way, the actual box, and we'll go through the different features on it. So you can see here we have a speaker panel on the front, it's the main one here, we have on the back as well. And if we look at the buttons on the front here, what we have is we have a on-off button here. We have a volume button. You can see the volume down here, volume up here. We can press this button here if we want to actually manually put it into Bluetooth mode, so it'll look for a device to pair with. And also then we have sort of a pause play button here as well. You can actually feed your phone calls through this. And there's actually a microphone device here, so you're actually doing phone calls through it. You can use the speakers to hear it, and you can actually speak into the microphone here. Okay. If we turn to the back of the box, we can see here we have an on-off switch. We have basically for the USB charging here, and we have the 3.5mm audio port here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cover the topic of how to charge this. So it's quite cool in terms of you can charge it off a PC, something like a USB port, but what I'm using here is just the adapter that comes with my iPhone. So I'm just going to grab the USB port cable, push it in here, and I'll come along here and I'll grab the USB mini here, just charge it in there, okay? And we have it on charge. Once it's fully charged, it'll actually charge for a total, you can have a speaker on it operating off charge for up to 5 hours. So to turn it on here, what I need to do is, just going to tip it forward, I'm just going to press the center button here. And when it turns on now, you'll see it'll go into a flashing light mode, and it's automatically making itself available for pairing via Bluetooth. Okay, so if I went on my iPhone here and put it into scan mode for Bluetooth, it'll automatically pick this up and pair with it. Okay, now I'm just going to cover the topic of, so that's a very straightforward way of doing it. I'm going to make it slightly more complicated here to show two other options. The first thing is that we actually want to come and hardwire it in using the 3.5mm audio cable. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply come along here. I'm going to connect it into this port here, which is very good. And now if we look at the top of my iPhone here, we have a similar port here, so it'll be very similar, a lot of MP3 players, etc. And we just push it in there. So what I'll do here now is I'll just come along, and what I'll do is I will simply go into the iTunes here and have a podcast here, and when I press the play, it won't initially work, but if I come along here and just tap this to turn off,
local vehicle, here it is. So what is it?
What we can see here is
like very typical Chinese
we have the output now on the cable here. Okay, so if we wanted to, we can come along. Now if we press things like the play and pause button here, we can't activate that because it's been hardwired through. There's no communication as such, it's just giving the audio output directly to it. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm just going to disconnect it this way. I'll put this play back on pause. So I'll just pause it here. And I'll just disconnect this cable. And we'll now do it through the Bluetooth mode. So what I'm going to do is I want to put it manually into a mode where it's going to be trying to scan in the Bluetooth. So just press this button here. And now it'll go into flashing here, so it's looking. And on my iPhone here, I'm simply going to go into settings. You can see I'm using the latest version currently, version 6 here on the iPhone, okay? So what I do here is I just go into Bluetooth and it's searching, okay? And it's looking for things, and I'll just tip it here, not paired, I'll tip it and we'll pair it up. And it's connected now. So if I go back into my podcast here,
yeah, workers use this to load their work stuff like a construction.
so from what distance can we use the speaker here? We can turn the volume up here as well.
Yeah, it's a bit small. It's definitely works.
So we can use it for, if I was to bring this phone a full 10 meters away, it'll work, and after about a 10 meter range it'll start getting drop out. So it has quite a good range, and you can hear the speaker volume, this is quite strong. And you can see how we can pause it from the actual, when we have in Bluetooth mode, using this button here. So it's actually a very, very nifty device in terms of the charging time and how long we can use the speaker afterwards, and in terms of how easy it is to set up. If we just had to turn this on and then have this in Bluetooth mode, it'll instantly match and then play. And we can obviously use it then for things like phone calls, etc. as well. So I think this is a really, really great product. And of the different ones that I've seen on the market, this seems to be some distance ahead of all the others. So that's it anyway, an overview of the iBox Twist portable Bluetooth speaker that's available on the tvtrade.ie website.